got something. I don't know what it is. Pike? That moved really fast. Welcome back, everybody. So today we're out experimenting again. Some fishermen absolutely swear by scents and whatnot. I've never really used it too much, and I think it's more of a confidence thing than anything, but this one really caught my eye. So this is the Nories bite powder. I've seen Taku Ito use it a ton for smallmouth, so figured why not go ahead and get it and try to see if largemouth like it too. It's an interesting thing because it's not a liquid at all, and most scents have always been liquid, so it'll be interesting to see how well this sticks on and to see if we end up catching an extra couple fish on it. But we'll go ahead and dump some into a plastic bag, and we'll start off with a beaver and a creature bait and kind of add baits as we go. We'll probably fish for a couple different days just to see how well it does, if, you know, it works better in some lakes and others. But I'm excited for this one. Let's get into it. So this is what it looks like out of the package. Again, oh, comes with a pull top, okay, right? Oh. And this was something I had to buy from Japan. It smells like fish food, to be honest. So probably not the greatest day to try and do this because it is quite windy out here, but we'll just dump a little bit into the bag. That should be plenty for at least a couple baits, I would think. So we'll go ahead and cap that so we don't lose too much of it. It wasn't super expensive. I think it was like $12 or $13, but obviously getting it from Japan was the big thing, because obviously you have to pay for shipping and stuff. So we'll just dump one of each in for right now. Coat her up like we're doing a fish fry or frying up some chicken. And I guess I'm really interested to see how well this stuff sticks on, because it is a powder, and I guess from what I understand is when it contacts water, it creates like a gel. So we'll see if that's true or not, but I think those are plenty coated, and we have a little bit left over, so that's good. So we'll go ahead, get out to the lake, and see if we can't catch some fish with it. All right, so we got our little beaver all rigged up. As you can tell, it does get a little bit of everywhere, but it doesn't smell as bad as a lot of scents, and I don't think it's, you know, oily, so I don't think it'd wreck your boat or your interior of your car if you accidentally got some on there. But it'll be interesting to see what it looks like, or if it gels up or whatnot once it touches water. It's been a while since we've been out at the pike spot, so it'll be interesting to see if we have a bunch of bass here also. The water's down quite a bit, so they should be kind of stacked in here, so there's not really much else for them to go to. So let's see, first cast, let's see what happens. Can we get lucky enough to have a bite on the first cast? Do not believe so. All right, let's take a look at what it looks like now. I don't know. I mean, it looks clean. I don't know if it washed it off or not. It doesn't, I mean, it feels a little bit more slick. So maybe, yeah, it does feel a little bit more slick, a little bit more slimy. So I think it does gel up. It doesn't smell a ton though. It almost feels similar to like bait fuel, like if that feeling, I guess. So I think it does stick on there, and it does gel just a little bit. It doesn't smell awful though. It smells a little bit more than bait fuel. Bait fuel is pretty nothingness, but well, let's see if we can't get into some fish now. There's one. Not a big one. Little guy. But I guess that's why we started with the holy small. That is why we started with the little beaver. So we probably weren't catching that guy on the creature bait by any means. Well, it's official. Small bass, like the Nories at least. He bit, and it felt like it was a lot bigger of a pop than something that, you know, would be, what was that, all of 8 inches? All right, so it still feels a little jelly-like, so I assume that it's probably still on there. I don't know. Yeah, I assume it's still on there. It doesn't feel like the normal riot bait ones that I'm using, so I assume that it is still on there to some extent. It doesn't really smell like fish food though anymore. Basically like those like little fish flakes that you feed like aquarium fish, but that's our first one. It's only up from there. I don't think we can get any smaller. And if they are smaller that bite, I don't think there's any chance that we're hooking them, so. There's another one, back to back. That one felt tiny. You still got it? Yeah, you still got it. No, it's bigger than that last one. Back to back. I mean, not much bigger, but relatively, she is bigger. Got it all the way down there. Maybe we're onto something. We're nearing a pound. Not quite there yet. But that's 2 in a row. So that says something. After a while, we'll probably, once it starts getting a little bit closer to dusk, we'll probably switch on over to the creature bait, just a little bit bigger of a bait. Hopefully they eat it a little bit better, but it's 2 in a row. Oh, I did tore off. Oh no, he didn't tear anything off. I thought he tore off a couple of appendages. All right, let's keep her going. Got one. Got one. Is that a pike or a bass? Look long. Feel, oh, that's definitely a pike. I feel his teeth rubbing. Little guy. No, that's a bass. Here's his hook funny. Huh. That was weird. I would say that's pretty close to a pound. We're getting bigger. Just need one like 3 times your size. We're starting to get this bait a little bit beat up, and it still is a little bit jelly-like, so we'll have to, I don't want to bite this one, so we'll have to reverse rig it, or rig it upside down. It does say on the packaging this is not for human consumption, so don't know what it's made out of, but I don't want to try it. That's 3. See if we can't get a couple more now. I have no idea if this stuff is still on there, so I did go ahead and reapply it. It goes on a lot thicker when it's obviously wet, you know, similar to a fish dredge or chicken or anything else like that, which I guess does bring me to a point that they do have a liquid version that you can go ahead and put on prior to putting on the powder, so it might actually go on thicker and stay a little bit better. So I guess that's something to think about. Not necessarily something that I have. I only bought the powder, but I guess if you guys want the full effect, I guess they do have a liquid that you can put on first and then the powder afterwards. But kind of interesting, because it does, I mean, I know it's shrimp flavored, it does smell a ton like fish food. I wonder if you wouldn't have a decent attractant if you just used the fish food flakes or ground them up or pulverized them or whatnot and dusted your lures in that too. Comment down below. Hey, we can go ahead and experiment and try that out too. Can't imagine that it would be that hard to try out, but if anybody's ever done that too and it's worked out for you, by all means drop that in the comment section below. I guess I would like to know that if it works or not before I even try it, but let's see if we can't catch a couple bigger fish now. Oh, we got one. In the weeds. Get out of the weeds. Oh, that's a good one. That's the best one of today by far. Oh, that's a good one. Oh boy. That's what we're looking for. Oh, I got it. Just inside his tongue, right on a gill. So we're gonna get him unhooked and let him go real quick. Oh gosh. There we go. Probably a 2 3/4 pounder, but we won't let it go too long. He's not bleeding right now, but we don't want him to start, so not a bad one. Like the Nories. Very nice. That's the best one of today by far. We gave this spot a little bit of a rest, and historically this spot is done much better closer to dusk, so those little ones that we caught before were a little bit of a bonus, I guess. So see if we can't get one more before dark. That's getting a little bit greedy, but that was a decent one. That riot bait was getting a little bit torn up, and we didn't have another one sitting in the Nories bite powder, so switched on over to the brush hog. A little bit bigger of a bait. Obviously, if the bigger fish are biting right now, probably not a bad thing. So see if we can't get one, and we're recharged with all that powder too. So if it does do something, having more of it should help. There's a big old stick down there. Thought I'd bite instantly for a second. Yeah, after the first cast, you can definitely tell that Nories is still on there. It's just a little slimy. So it does stay on there. How long? I have no idea. I have no idea how often you're really supposed to reapply this stuff, but we've been catching them on it, so it doesn't scare them away at least. We can't get one more though. Well, we didn't have another bite on the Nories. We probably shouldn't have switched on over to the brush hog, but that's fishing. They were eating a smaller lure today and switched on over to something bigger, and they didn't bite. So that is what it is. We will most certainly go out and try this at another lake to see if they eat it there also, but today was a good start for sure. So we'll have to continue this experiment at least one more time. I know I said I was going to go ahead and fish another lake with the Nories bite powder to see if we couldn't end up with some fish on different lakes, if it works well there too. But we just had an absolute massive rain yesterday, and that's one of my favorite times to fish these spillways. It just leads to so much more water movement, oxygenation. The fish always seem to be so much more tuned up. So we're back out here seeing if we can't catch a few more fish and hopefully some good ones. Let's get after it. First cast. Bass, little bass, tiny bass, bigger bait, and what we've been using. Little guy. That's how our last day started though. First cast. I had just reapplied the Nories bait powder literally on that cast, so that's good. I think I like it. I mean, it's pretty simple to use. What I've done is basically just put a bag, dump some in there, and then you just apply it like fish batter or chicken or anything like that. It's really simple, clean. You don't really end up, you know, with tons of it all over. You don't seem to waste very much. See if we can't get a second one. Bear hook just a little bit. See if we can't get another one in that same spot. That was a little guy. I'm surprised he bit on that. Literally next cast. Yep. Is that a, oh, that feels like, oh no, that's the second fish that has felt almost like a pike, because you just feel like their teeth. I don't understand why. Wasn't hooked weird or anything. Come on, open up. There you go. They are loving on that Nories. Part of that is probably just the fact that we did just have all that rain. So they are definitely in a more bitey mood. Oh, reapply again. Again, I think some of that Nories does stay on just because the bait just seems more slippery than and slimy than what it normally does out of the package. So I assume it just kind of gels up and stays on there for a little bit longer than you think it normally would with a powder. But they're biting in here. We just need some good ones though. Need something over 2 or 3. I got something, I don't know what it is. Pike? That moved really fast. Yep, pike. Okay. I was about to say, one of these has to be. Oop. Little guy. Little pike like the Nories too. Let's go ahead and get him unhooked. Oh no. Come on, buddy. Always gotta be difficult. There we go. Single hook is easy, and he didn't get our line. Oh, come on. Now he's all wrapped up. There we go. Oh, he's got my bait though. Little guy. Little pike like the Nories too. Let him go. Threw it out there, and as soon as it hit the water, it just started going sideways. There it goes. All right, we reapplied. Yeah, I chucked it out there, and as soon as I chucked it out there, it started swimming sideways, and I was like, that's not very bass-like. But we see if we can't get some more. They're just absolutely eating in this little pond. And then, again, this is after a big rain. Spillways are by far one of my favorite places to fish, just because fish seem to be in so much more of a feeding mood. The bugs out here are absolutely insane right now, though. It's super muggy, but keep on fishing for as long as we can. Dark's not too far away. Oh, do I have no, I had another bite. Yeah, dark's not too far away, so hopefully we can get another 1 or 2 before nightfall and give our reviews. There's one. Little guy. Ski him right on in. Whoop. Oh. Good luck, buddy. Was that first fish I think we've missed? Might have missed one other bite. Dropped it right away. I'm surprised how small they are and still trying to eat this full-size brush hog. Where are the big ones though? There's one. In there. Oh no. Where is it? I had it. Is it still in there? No. I see the sinker right there. Man. That felt like a good one too. Right in those 2 foot of water right there. Bait's getting torn up quite a bit. Go ahead and put, that was right after I had put the Nories on it again. It was a new spot, so that fish might not have seen the bait yet, but I don't know. Well, that's about it for today. We didn't catch any big fish by any means, but we did catch a fair number of fish for as short of a period of time we were out here, so that was cool. And we ended up catching a pike, which wasn't something I had expected to happen, so that was neat also. As far as the bite powder and scents in general, unless you're in like a lab or something like that and testing fish to see whether they like this versus just a regular bait, or I guess if you had a live scope and you weren't catching fish and then decided to throw some bite powder on and started catching them, I think it's so difficult to tell if it's, you know, better or not. I think the biggest thing with any scent is just your confidence in it. I think, you know, if you have added confidence to your bait, I think it's going to help you out regardless, whether it actually does or not. I think you're just going to have more faith in catching those fish, and I think that will help out, and you'll fish a little bit more effectively. With that being said, there are definitely some pros to this. First off, we caught fish on it, and I highly doubt we scared any fish away with the scent, so that's great. Second of all, I love that it's so clean. Plenty of scents have just you know, they're oily and whatnot and can wreck the interior of your boat, your car, all sorts of stuff like that. And I love that this was, one, didn't really smell all that much to me, and two, was relatively clean. So that was wonderful too. It's almost got that bait fuel sort of deal to it, which is phenomenal. I guess the hard thing is knowing how well it worked and stuck. It did feel like on those baits after you casted them the first time that they were a little bit more slippery, leading to thinking that, you know, it stuck on that bait a little bit. But I mean, as soon as you pitch it into a spot, a fair amount of that powder does, you know, leave, or you can't see it anymore at least. So it's, again, kind of like a faith thing that it just works for you. Bugs out here are absolutely insane right now. But so I guess if it's something that interests you and you have confidence in it, I would say absolutely use it. It's not something that I would use all the time, just because I don't like the extra hassle of a scent, bringing a bag along and stuff like that. And there was very, very minimal mess, but obviously more than not using it at all. So, you know, and as far as price point, it's not that expensive. I think it was like $13. The most expensive part of it was getting it shipped on over from Japan. I assume at some point in time they'll probably offer it in America, but yeah, I guess that's it. So if it's something that interests you, I would, you know, absolutely recommend go ahead and getting it. It's, I guess, one of my favorite scents that I use. Again, I don't use them very often, but you know, between this and bait fuel, something that I would definitely use again. So hopefully this was a little bit helpful for you guys if you guys were thinking about getting it, you know, or you didn't even know about it and are now looking into it. You know, by all means, tag a fishing buddy and try it out. Let me know how it goes. Hopefully it does work out phenomenally for you guys. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.